There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, our graduands. Our graduation ceremony will commence shortly. And before we do so, we would like to share the following announcements and guidelines with you. In the event of emergency, please remain calm and follow the instructions of the safety officer and ushers. All cell phones and electronic devices should be switched off or placed on silent mode. Lavatory facilities are to your left as you exit the venue. Please refrain from moving towards the stage to take photographs or record the proceedings, as this is disruptive to the event and to other guests and graduands. Photographers are set up in the Student Center should you wish to take a family photo. Refreshments will be provided to you after the ceremony, and the ushers will guide you to where it will be offered. For our graduands, only doctoral graduands are required to have a cap. All other graduands do not require a cap, and should you have one, please leave it at your seat. Doctoral graduands are to keep their caps in their hands and not to wear them until their degrees have been conferred. Graduands, on the back of your seat is your name card that you must present to the Dean when you are at the podium. Make sure that you have your hood and that it is draped over your left arm with the flap to the front. University staff members will indicate when your row should move from your seats towards the podium. You will move to your right from your row. Take your name card and hood with you. Once at the podium, hand your name card to the Dean and stand on the black line that is on the carpet. Once your name is called, collect your card from the Dean and proceed to the Chancellor. Graduand, please kneel with the right knee on the bench in front of the Chancellor or Vice Chancellor whilst they cap you. A photograph will be taken at this point. Proceed from there to the registrar, who will place the hood on you. Face the audience and then leave the stage. Doctoral graduands, you will then place their caps on their heads. Should there be a graduate with the registrar when you're approaching, please wait in front of the black line on the carpet that is close to the registrar. This will allow the photographers to take the photo of the next graduate who is being capped by the Chancellor. When leaving the stage, go down the stairs, turn right and proceed down the passage where you will receive your certificate or letter of completion. Re-enter the hall from the door on your left on the ground floor and proceed to your seat. University staff will direct you. Graduands, please note that this is an important notice. Once you have had your degree conferred upon, please do not leave the hall with your guests, as it is disrespectful to other graduands, guests, and university officials. You may only leave once the ceremony has been concluded by the Chancellor. The academic procession will enter the hall from the center doorway towards the stage. The audience will be requested to stand and remain standing. The Chancellor will constitute the congregation. We will then sing the national anthem and encourage all to participate. Thereafter, a prayer will be conducted. An indication will be given for you to be seated. At the end of the ceremony, you are requested to stand and remain standing as the academic procession leaves the hall. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today to celebrate the achievements of the graduates.
Graduates, guests, can I have your attention, please? Our ceremony will begin shortly, but there is one announcement we would like you to take heed of. For our graduates, once you have been invested and you receive your certificate, please return back to your seat. Please do not leave the hall with your guests. It is very disrespectful to the other graduates who still need to be invested and receive their certificates. They have waited to celebrate in your achievement, so please do return to your seat and celebrate theirs. With that, can I ask you to please rise for the academic procession?
I declare this congregation of the University of the Western Cape duly constituted. Dazisa ngokusemthethweni lenhlangano ye-University eNtshona Kapa. Ek verklaar hier die vergadering van die Universiteit van Wes-Kaapland as behoorlik geconstitueer.
The national anthem will be led by Jessica Lee. Please join us in singing the national anthem.
Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
The university respects and recognizes all faiths, and in an effort to respect the major faiths observed by the UWC community, we have arranged for a spiritual leader from each of these to lead us in prayer on a rotational basis. This morning, we will be led in prayer by Mr. Rodrigue George.
Good morning. Please let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for the power of this precious moment. Scripture describes us as being God's masterpiece. Over the past few years, you have used your power to add your brushstrokes of excellence to the canvas of these graduates' lives. You have turned moments of despair into an array of color, not merely brushing or airbrushing their past, but turning it into poignant timelines of grace. We are reminded that all things work together for the good of those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. Today is that day. It is indicative of your sustaining power and a reminder of the narrative told through the lives of these graduates and their families. We pray that as the graduates step into a world often riddled with the complexities of decay, they would serve as shining examples of what is possible. May they find renewed purpose. May they shape communities with hope. May they break every limitation, and may they provide new possibilities in the areas where they will serve in society. May they constantly be reminded that they carry with them the ethos of UWC, and may great doors of opportunity open for them. We commit the ceremony and the various facets to you. Bless the graduates, their parents, significant others, and all those who contributed to their achievements. Bless too the individuals who made this day possible and who will serve with excellence today. We entrust this joyous ceremony into your care. We thank you for all the many blessings we have been privileged to enjoy, and for the myriads of God's favor that we will continue to enjoy in the days ahead. For this, we truly thank you, now and forevermore. Amen.
I now call upon the President of the Student Representative Council, Mr. Macintosh Kasemba, to address you.
Thank you so much, Registrar. Before I start, I would just like to kindly request that we acknowledge perhaps people that will never be sung nor noticed, but they are the reason that we have this ventilation, this lighting, these floors are swept and cleaned. This is to the cleaners, the staff, and the students of this university that have done this so that all of us can feel welcome and that all our ancestors can feel welcome in this venue. So I would kindly ask that we give them a thunderous round of applause. To the Chancellor, in absentia, Dr. Archbishop Thabo Makgoba, the Vice Chancellor in absentia, Professor Robert John Balfour, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Professor Monwabisi Khalakhala, to the DVC Student Development and Support and the DVC Research and Innovation in absentia, the Registrar, Dr. Lawton Nita Mizra, the Deans, the academics, the guests, the families, and most importantly, the graduating class of the Faculty of Natural Sciences, the Faculty of Education, the Faculty of, the Dean asked me to say this, I don't know how true it is, but the flagship faculty, the Faculty of Dentistry. Today, I stand before you deeply aware of what this moment means. Graduation, in my opinion, is never just a ceremony. It is the witnessing of living our ancestors' wildest dreams. It is a testimony of struggle. It is a testimony of discipline, sacrifice, and the power of telling our own story. Our own story. And that's the essence of my message here today. That's the proposition and the theoretical framework that I provide in this address and this privilege that I have to address each and every one of you today. And it is that our story must be told by us, not for us. You know, when I first learned about the heritage of the University of the Western Cape, funny story, by the way, it was 2 days ago. I am almost 4 years in this institution, and I only know now that each and every building that you walk in this institution has a very significant meaning about it. Let me just deviate for a bit. Let's just park the address here and let me just deviate. Do me a favor when you leave this room. When you leave this room, just adjacent after walking out of the Jakes Gerwel building, you will see a statue. It's one of the only statues that we have in higher education that is signified of a post-democratic South Africa. You can speak about Rhodes Must Fall and all the likes. They were challenged, but not this statue. It's a statue of a domestic worker holding a broom and a child that has just graduated. The joyousness and the happiness of the mother is echoed in that statue. And when I asked Hardy, the public relations officer of the institution, what it means, he said that this represents the context at which we live in, the context in which we're under in this university, which is the university of the working class. And if you look just adjacent to it, there's a pyramid. That pyramid signifies the alumnus representation. This is to say that as soon as you graduate and when you leave this building, you should be a proud representative and a proud alumni of the University of the Western Cape. So I think I realized something very profound in that. You see, UWC was never built for those who had power. It was built for those who were actually denied it. It was designed very deliberately and very intentionally to be a university not only for the white, for those considered unworthy of academic excellence. It was intended to be a footnote. But instead, I would argue, we actually became a chapter. We became a chapter in resistance, a chapter of transformation, this chapter of possibility. UWC never accepted the story written for it. You know, this very building that we're in that is named after the late Professor Jakes Gerwel refused the script of limitation, and instead he turned this institution into a space of intellectual rebellion. The late Professor Brian O'Connell refused the script of mediocrity, and he positioned UWC as a global force, which reminded us that the poor can also think. But not only that, the poor can think very powerfully. The recently retired Vice Chancellor, Professor Tyrone Pretorius, also carried that legacy forward by stabilizing the institution and affirming the dignity of every student who has walked through these gates. You see, the commonalities in each and every person and each and every leader or Vice Chancellor that I've mentioned is this. They were trying to say that if they write our story, they will write us small. So instead, we will write it ourselves. And here you are, the authors of a new chapter. Graduates, you come from communities where people believe in you even when the resources fail you. You studied through all the load shedding, the systemic challenges, the social weight of inequality that plagues not only this institution but the sector at large. You studied through the noise of hardship that tries to silence your ambition. You've balanced textbooks with responsibilities at home. You learned anatomy, education, dentistry, all natural sciences modules while learning how to even survive as a human being. You studied healthcare systems, business systems, and even economic systems while navigating that very system that often fails our own people. You see, you arrive at this graduation not because the journey was easy, no, not at all, but because the story inside you was stronger than the obstacles that are around you. You see, in the tradition of the University of the Western Cape, you chose to define yourself, not to be defined. You chose to write your own narrative and not to inherit a damaged one. And this generation, your generation, walks across the stage at a time when South Africa desperately needs people who can think. South Africa desperately needs people who can heal, people who can build, people who can lead, and people who can care. And sometimes it needs people who are tall, dark, and handsome, 5'7", 75 kg like me, half Zulu, half Malawian. But you see, the world looks at UWC and they see a university. But when we look at UWC, we see a heritage. We see a place that produces the impossible, a university that, like its very own students, has always had to work twice as hard to earn half of the recognition. And yet, UWC has produced ministers, it has produced judges, it has produced global scientists, world-class researchers, world-class educators. It has produced healthcare workers, dentists that are saving lives across continents. It has built communities that are rebuilt by its social workers, its nurses, its occupational therapists, its educators, its scientists, its psychologists, and even its own public health professionals. In UWC, we do not produce people who just simply graduate. We produce people who carry the DNA of resilience. People who, even when they speak, you're reminded that UWC is not just an institution that is born out of privilege, it is an institution that is built out of purpose. So when people ask this fundamental question, this question of what is the UWC way, you tell them this: it is the ability to rise where others collapse. It is the refusal to be underestimated, and it is the excellence that does not even ask for permission. It is the leadership that is rooted in the concepts and the values of humility and service. And above all, it is telling our story with our own voice. Graduates, I will not romanticize this moment that we are in. South Africa, our own country, is going through a very difficult chapter. Our healthcare systems are under pressure, businesses are failing, enterprises are in liquidation. The economy is rising by no more than just 0.1% quarter on quarter. The last time that we actually attained an economic percentage or growth percentage that's over 1% was pre-COVID eras. We live in a country that is plagued by violence. We live in a country where there's mental health issues, gender-based violence, and all other socio-economic issues. We live in a country where graduating is both a blessing, but it is equally also a burden. Because you step into a society that desperately needs what you carry. But this is the same country that raised people like Steve Biko, like Oliver Tambo, like Hamilton Naki, like Mampele Rampele, like Nelson Mandela. You see, this country has a way of producing giants from very unlikely and unfertile soil. And today, you join that lineage. Yes, the moment is very difficult, but difficulty has never been the enemy of UWC. Difficulty actually is the environment in which we thrive in this university. So what do we do now? I think that we tell a better story. You see, we cannot allow others to define UWC graduates as underdogs. We cannot allow narratives that reduce your degree to just a mere mortal. We cannot allow people to talk about our own university as though we are not capable of speaking of ourselves. You today, each and every one of you that is in this room, inherits a mandate. It is to tell our story. Tell them that UWC produces almost 52% of the dentists in this continent. Tell them that UWC is the lowest fee paying institution, yet is in the top 10 in terms of rankings in South Africa. You tell them that. But importantly, you tell them that the University of the Western Cape is the only institution that has participated in the CAF Confederation Cup through its women football team, ever. So I want you to tell it loudly, tell it without apology, tell it with pride, tell it through the work, your ethics, your compassion, and your leadership. Because when a UWC graduate walks into a hospital or a clinic, a community, or even a lab or a policy desk, they do not walk with a qualification, they walk with a legacy and a story to tell about this university. So in the years to come, when someone asks you where you studied, please do me a favor, do not whisper. Say it with your chest that I am a graduate of the University of the Western Cape, the University of the Intellectual Left. Say it the way a soldier speaks of a battlefield that shaped him. I want you to say it the way a writer speaks of a chapter that changed his or her life. You say it like someone who knows that UWC is not just a university, it is a lineage of thinkers, a lineage of fighters, a lineage of healers, and a lineage of dreamers. So let me end with this story. You know, a few months ago, in one of the organizations that I am part of, we held a community outreach program in Khayelitsha. And during this outreach program, I met a very old woman. And what's interesting about this old woman, actually, is that she had lived in the same two-room house for over 40 years. You know, she reminds me of my mother and my grandmother. Let me park this for a bit. She reminds me of my mother. Actually, my grandmother, I must say. You know, grandmothers, no matter how hard you try, they will never want to move out of their neighborhood. There was a time, I remember myself and my brother, we were driving, I think in the N1, so there's an off-ramp. The off-ramp is clear in the board that it's Orange Farm. So we wanted to take her out and we would hit straight to the N1. He said, hey, wait, off-ramp here, Orange Farm. This is where I am. So what I'm trying to say about this is that there is a thing about the elderly and holding true significance about where they come from. So that day, I met this woman and her health was very fragile. Her movements was very limited, yet her spirit was unshaken. And as I entered into her homestead, she told me this, and I saw sort of a picture in the homestead. And this picture was a UWC graduate in a blue gown. This is to mean that this was a graduate who just, of course, graduated with her PhD. And she told me this, I quote, you know, Macintosh, this university didn't just educate her, it gave this family evidence that we are capable. But importantly, I think she said something that I will never forget. She said that when she graduated, the whole house got a new story to tell. Graduates, this is what today means. You're not walking across the stage alone, you're walking with families beside you, your communities are walking with you, a whole history walks aligned to you, and a whole future walks because of you. Your degree is not just a paper that I think you should post on your wall or in your office. It is a new story into the hands of people who have long been denied the chance to tell one. You know, there is a quote that I read just yesterday, and it says this: if lions do not have their own writers or historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And see, that's the problem that we have, that we do not have the people that are going to tell our stories. We do not have the confidence, the conviction, the commitment to believe in ourselves. Everybody is talking about UWC besides UWC itself. So, and now as you leave this hall, I want to leave you with two very quick takeaways. Two ideas, gems that you must imprint in your minds, in your hearts, and archive them. Takeaway one: never let the world tell your story before you do. So the world will try to define you by, the world will rather try to define you by where you come from, not by where you are going. They will try to place limits on you based on your background and not your brilliance. And they will try to shrink the power of your degree because they underestimate the institution that shaped you. Don't let them. Speak first, position yourself first, tell your story before the whole world drafts its own version. Lead this narrative, because when you speak with clarity, confidence, and conviction, the world has no choice but to listen to you. The second takeaway: turn this success into a level of service. Your graduation is not the end of responsibility, it is actually the activation of it. UWC graduates, I think, are called to heal communities. You're called to carry professionalism into neglected spaces, to be the integrity where corruption has been the status quo. It is to be compassionate in a world growing very colder each day. And importantly, as Charlotte Matleke said, it is to lift others as you rise. So your success, I think, must not end with you. It must echo beyond you. Because the true turnaround of our society will not come from policies alone or the politicians alone, but from people. People like you who chose to be the hands, the minds, and the hearts that reshape this country. So go forward, tell your story very courageously, and write a new one for the people that have raised you. Go forward, Serve very boldly because your graduation is the beginning of someone else's hope. Class of 2025 in this December, that is definitely going to leave us broke. In your festivities and in your enjoyment, may your story be loud, may your service be lasting, and may your legacy be unmistakably, unshamedly, and courageously UWC. Congratulations, Amandla. I thank you.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Monwabisi Kgalakgala, will now address you.
Our Archbishop, Dr. Rev Makgoba, our Member of Council, Mayor Tigle, who is with us this morning, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Robert Balfour, in absentia, and of course our Deputy Vice Chancellors, Prof. Mateta Madiba, as well as Professor Joseph Franz, who are not here with us this morning, our Deans of Faculties, and our deputy deans, the members of the executive represented by our registrar this morning, our senators, and of course, our esteemed academics and the university community as a whole. And I also wish to recognize the SRC represented by the President, Mr. Kasembe, and our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, our graduates who will be honored today, to your parents, to your families, to your friends, to your significant others, and to those who could not come through because of one reason or another. And at that point, I would like us to observe a moment of silence, especially for the members of our graduates who couldn't come through this morning to be part of this joyous occasion. A moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Graduation is one of the most exciting moments in the life of our university, as you have heard from the president of the SRC. For you graduates, it is a culmination of a demanding academic journey and the beginning of a new chapter. For your families, it is a day of pride. It is a day of immense satisfaction. And for those of us who are in the higher education space, at UWC in particular, it is a reminder of a purpose that we serve, that of co-creation of knowledge, sharing of such knowledge, but of course, the broadening of the opportunity for the youth and that of contributing meaningfully to the human development. Graduation carries the weight of long nights, difficult choices, also as well as determination needed to continue when the circumstances were so challenging for our graduates. Today, you will also appreciate the fact that when these new graduates came through UWC as they transitioned into our space, they carried their own stories. Each one of them, from the period 4 to 5 years, they brought along their own stories. And along with those stories, they had the expectations of what the education might give for them. Now today, those stories come together in this hall as a shared achievement. Your presence here this morning is testimony to your determination, graduates. Is also testimony to your diligence, to your intelligence, to your resilience, to your hard work, and of course to the belief that your future was worth investing in. Perhaps it is time to pause for a moment and ask a very important question. What is so special about this place that you call UWC? As I look at you with admiration, with appreciation, I'm reminded that UWC draws its strength from its diversity. You come from different communities, you speak different languages, and you embrace different traditions, yet you share a common purpose, a commitment to learning and to using the knowledge that you gain from this university to change and improve people's lives. This commitment says something about the profound heart and the whole essence of this university. A university that grew out of struggles, as mentioned by our president here, that understands the cost of inequality and that believe that education can only be used to disrupt the deficits of the past. And I'm sure you know by now that the institution understands the complexities and of course the experiences that are associated with the South African difficulties that we experience from time to time. Our institution, along with its academics, has a better sense of what it means to teach and research in a multicultural environment, how to navigate histories of exclusions, and of course, how to build systems that support students from a multiplicity of backgrounds. Register, it will be remiss of me not to share some of the important achievements that we have witnessed in recent times across faculties. In our natural sciences, for example, the student supersecurity team recently took first place in the Center for High Performance Computing Conference, which took place in Century City. They beat the teams from universities across country and proclaiming quite a number of prizes, and these were to the value of over 200,000. I'm talking about the Faculty of Natural Science here. Our students, of course, did not leave much room for the competition, as the UWC second team also took third place in the same competition. In the same faculty, one of our PhD students in the medical microbiology, Irina Aris, has blown the judges away in the 3-minute thesis competition, where students were asked to explain their research and its impact in the punchy 3 minutes elevatory pitch. That was a rich achievement. I'm sure we can put our hands together. In our dentistry, a particular outstanding achievement in the current academic year was the performance of a BDSV cohort involved in the project assessing the waiting list of a tertiary oral health center in the Western Cape. This team also earned first place at the University of the Western Cape Faculty Research Day and won the undergraduate research competition of the International Association for Dental Research. They were also recipients of the South African Dental Association Young Publishers Award and were selected as winners by the Medical Protection Society Foundation. The team further distinguished itself by competing against dental schools in South Africa and in Namibia and presenting its research at the International Association for Dental Research in Barcelona. Let's put our hands together for that achievement. In our education faculty, the PGC program celebrated several key achievements, including a successful service day. This was a well-attended enhancement program that strengthened students' readiness for teaching practice and noticeable improvements in the teaching skills supported by the new micro-teaching guide. That's another big achievement for the Faculty of Education. Colleagues, I must also emphasize that these activities, these achievements, which are by no means exhaustive in our university, underscore the various faculties' dedication to being empowering and, of course, serving as a transformative force in the South African higher education and beyond. More importantly, these ongoing developments showcase UWC's growing relevance, not only in our mission towards student success, but also in underscoring our interest and contribution in the global knowledge economy. And with that background in mind, it is also worth mentioning that UWC's international footprint continues to grow. Graduates, as my talk draws to a close, allow me to share with you 3 ideas that might assist you as you take the next step. Firstly, remain open to lifelong learning. I wish to underscore this. Derek Bock reminds us, if for you to think that education is expensive, try ignorance. I repeat, for those of you who think education is expensive, you just have to try ignorance. Your qualification is not an endorsement, actually not an endpoint, but it is rather a foundation. The world you enter in requires some form of adaptation and, of course, some degree of curiosity. So you have to keep reading. You have to continue to ask the difficult questions. You also have to challenge your own assumptions. Secondly, hold fast to your values. Our global icon, Nelson Mandela, insists on this principle, I quote, "Those who consider themselves with morality and integrity and consistency need not fear the forces of inhumanity and cruelty," close quote. So your degree may secure a job, but it is your integrity that will sustain you. Whether you are in the work where you do business or in the health profession or in education or in government or in community service, lead with fairness. Lead with humanity, and lead with honesty. These are the kind of qualities that should travel far. Please embrace them. Thirdly, and finally, invest in relationships. Any academic journey, from my personal understanding, is like a jungle. Everybody needs some form of guidance. And as a result of that, you owe much of your growth, development, and success to your lecturers who have supported you throughout your journeys. You owe it to your fellow students who might have shared some great ideas with you in the course of your journey, and you owe it to your mentors who offered some form of advice and support from time to time. And therefore, your academic life and professional life beyond the university can only be strengthened through these collaborative relationships. Try and nurture them as you go along. They will support you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Much like Henry James' session regarding this very important factor of life, he offers us 3 important ways in which we can sustain these collaborative relationships. The first one, be kind. The second one, be kind. The third one, be kind. As I end off, I would like to give thanks and appreciation to those who have worked so hard behind the scenes, especially in making this graduation ceremony a great success. At top of my list are the individuals and, of course, groups who have played a significant role in helping our graduates to reach the mountaintop. To the academic staff, your love, your care, your guidance, your passion, and your commitment for the work that you do from time to time. Thank you so much. The evidence is right before you, and we salute you for that. To our professional and support staff, the smooth running and, of course, the efficiency of this very big event we started yesterday. Today is our last day, is due to all of you, and we wish to thank you for your commitment and your hard work. You are acknowledged as well. Registrar, I believe yourself and the team are in the forefront of this initiative. Thank you so much again. To the parents, to the families, and to the loved ones, I also wish to say thank you as well. You have proven that once more, it takes a village to raise a child. And I think it's a saying that we must embrace from time to time. You have made the biggest sacrifice of all times, and you have put your life on hold in order to fulfill the promise of someone's future. And again, you have given them the best investment, and for that we are grateful. Thank you very much. I suppose an itemist song will be rendered by Jessica Lee. Thank you.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. Strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and that emptiness you felt will disappear. Then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Oh, Lord knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. And hold on, there will be tomorrow. You'll find a way. Then a hero comes along
Thank you. Can we allow those who were delayed to come through? Can we settle down? We're about to start. By authority vested in me, I shall now admit the candidates who are presented to me and the candidates who were not able to attend this ceremony to degrees, to diplomas, and certificates in the university.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jefian Gopal. I'm the Dean of Dentistry. Before I start, I just want to acknowledge the presence of my staff who have come to share the successes of our students. So thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Rukhsana Ahmed will now be introduced to you by Supervisor, Prof. Mulder.
The thesis is titled Efficacy of Vaporized Biodecontamination on E. faecalis, C. albicans, and Saliva Cultures. The study evaluated vaporized hydrogen peroxide and hypochlorous acid against E. faecalis, C. albicans, and mixed saliva cultures on dental surfaces. The objectives included the impact of different media, moisture levels, and exposure times on pathogen proliferation. The results reveal significant reductions in pathogen levels following these exposures. VHP exhibited strong antimicrobial activity in both wet and dry conditions, while moisture and challenge medium composition influenced efficacy. This relates directly to clinical real-life scenario to allow evidence-based conclusions and recommendations to be made for the dental decontamination. Both agents significantly reduce contamination, enhancing infection control. This PhD aligns with SDG 3 and 12.
Deputy Vice Chancellor. I request you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Ruxana Ahmed, who will be invested by a sister, another Dr. Ahmed, who is in the audience. Yeah. Deputy Vice Chancellor. The candidate Nasreen Bahadeen will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Prof. Richlaw.
Nasreen Bahadeen's thesis is entitled Expert Performance in Exodontia, Redesigning an Exodontia Block Course Using Deliberate Practice as a Teaching Strategy. Exodontia, or tooth extraction, is a fundamental clinical competency in dentistry requiring theoretical knowledge, precision, confidence, and technical proficiency. Yet, literature on this teaching skill is limited, and no established model exists. This multi-phase PhD introduces a theory-driven, deliberate practice framework that reimagines clinical skills education. By emphasizing structured repetition, clear performance goals, targeted feedback, and strategic deconstruction of complex skills, the model strengthens psychomotor development, accelerates skill acquisition, and promotes equitable learning, particularly in high-need contexts such as South Africa, where disparities in educational backgrounds affect readiness. This pedagogical innovation bridges theory and practice, offering a replicable, evidence-informed approach that enhances curriculum design and advances dental education.
Deputy Vice Chancellor. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Nasreen Bahadeen. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Abu Bakr Mohammed will now be introduced to you. His supervisor is Prof. Adam, who is not in the audience at the function today, so I'll have to read the citation. The title of the thesis was The Endodontic Sealer Modified with Nanoparticles and Antibacterial, Cytotoxic, and Physical Properties. So root canal failure is a frequently encountered clinical challenge in dentistry and is predominantly attributed to the persistent or secondary infections. So this innovative study aimed to develop an endodontic sealer enhanced with green synthesized silver, zinc oxide, and bimetal nanoparticles from Punica granatum peel extract. The bimetal silver zinc oxide displayed the highest antimicrobial activity, and incorporating 25% silver zinc oxide into the sealer improved antimicrobial efficiency, reduced cytotoxicity, and enhanced solubility, dimensional change, flow, and bond strength in accordance with ISO 6876 standards. These findings conclude that the green synthesized bimetal silver zinc oxide significantly improved the biological and physiochemical behavior of the sealant and could be a sustainable antimicrobial endodontic dental biomaterial. And this study has produced 2 articles published in peer-reviewed journals, and a further 2 have been submitted for publication. DVC, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Abu Bakr Mohammed.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate J. Davids will now be introduced to you by a supervisor, Prof. Cyril Julie.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, the title of Jade's thesis is An Autoethnography of Implementing Productive Practice. Because at UWC we have been reflecting on Zoe Wickham's years and writing on her beloved, what she called and what we know as Bush. Zoe will be elated with Jade's work. Jade, however, does not create an alter ego, Frida. It is Jade's own story of implementing teaching to enhance achievement outcomes in mathematics of learners in schools and from low socioeconomic status areas. Jade is both the object and the subject of research. Diaries are used to assist with the whims of memory. The story is unique. It is not a narration of coming to grips with teaching in and teaching those in different cultural contexts. It is about knowing a wrong and doing something about it, as the renowned cosmologist George Alice advises. More than 50 years ago, an economist prophet, it will take generations to realize income equity. This is similar for mathematics achievement outcomes for learners from low socioeconomic status environments. Jade's autoethnographic story is a start.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on J. Davids. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidates Sandile Cornelius Kakaza will now be introduced to you by Professor Trevor Moodley.
The thesis is titled South African Traditional Healers' Perspectives on Substance Abuse Among Adolescents, a study conducted in Khayelitsha, Cape Town. This qualitative study explored African traditional healers' perspectives on substance abuse amongst adolescents. Although participants' understandings of substance abuse was quite similar to Western perspectives, the findings reflected a more profound conceptualization of substance abuse, emphasizing an Afrocentric holism orientation of health and illness. Thus, the predominantly westernized approach in addressing substance abuse among adolescents, especially in Black communities, may be limited. This study highlights how a more culturally appropriate and inclusive approach may be more effective in addressing substance abuse among adolescents. Therefore, a complementary rather than an exclusive approach is proposed in addressing psychosocial health challenges such as substance abuse.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Sandile Cornelius Kakaza. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Wandile Magenzgeza will now be introduced to you by Dr. Marius Simons.
Wandile's thesis is titled Challenges and Opportunities in Online Mathematics Learning Environment, a Sociological Perspective. Now, Wandile explored the challenges and opportunities in online mathematics learning environment with a focus on the sociological dynamics of online mathematics education. He applied the theoretical perspectives of Goffman's dramaturgical framework and Garfinkel's ethnomethodology. Symbolic interaction, impression management, and establishment of order within virtual mathematics online classroom space was explored. The findings from this multiple data source confirm both structured online learning systems and learning analytic systems are needed to improve learning outcomes. Wandile's study showed that effective virtual learning can be improved through educational technology and increased training of lecturers to acquire skills for using intelligent educational platforms. Now, this study advocates for enhancement of online mathematics learning through contributing to the current debates on digital teaching methods.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Wandile Magengeza. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Sydney Musupili Mutelo will now be introduced to you by our Deputy Dean Teaching and Learning, Prof. Melanie Lake.
Sydney's thesis, exploring the significance of artificial intelligence in teacher education, in the curriculum of Namibian universities in the fourth industrial revolution, used a pragmatic mixed method approach on over 50 academics to investigate the transformative potential of AI in Namibian teacher education. Grounded in Anderson and Prensky's Emerging Technologies framework, the research revealed that AI holds significant promise to enhance pedagogies through innovative tools such as chatbots and learning analytics. Crucially, the investigation identified substantial implementation barriers, focusing primarily on insufficient infrastructure, lack of dedicated funding, and inadequate staff training. This study contributes substantially to the higher education reform discourse by strongly emphasizing the urgent need for curriculum innovation, robust staff development programs, and the ethical deployment of AI to equip Namibian teachers with competencies required for the digital era.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Sydney Musupili Mutelo. So what do I do? Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you confer the degree Philosophy on Nompozigire Lucia in Comma. No, sorry. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Sydney Musupili Mutelo. Sorry about that. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Ntombizonke Lucia Nkumalo will now be introduced to you by Professor Molotsani.
Mrs. Ntombizonke Lucia Nkumalo has conducted a study on exploring the importance of learning support for learners with barriers to learning in senior phase school within the Kin Tsachayo district. Her study explores the significance of learning support for learners with learning barriers in the senior phase school within the King Tsachayo district. 12 teachers participated in a qualitative study that employed the interpretivist paradigm and used thematic analysis. The theories underpinning the study were Vygotsky, sociocultural, and Bronfenbrenner. The challenges faced by the school in this regard include limited resources, diverse learners' needs, and insufficient professional development opportunities. The recommendation included enhancement of teachers' training, increase in resources allocation, and effective collaboration amongst educators, families, and community stakeholders. I must also confirm that Ms. Nkumalo has already published an article in this regard. Thank you.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Ntombizonke Lucia Nkumalo. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate, Quinton Charles Terhoeven, will now be introduced to you by Dr. Cornelia Boyd.
Good morning. Mr. Quinton Charles Terhoeven's thesis explores the content of environmental education programs with a focus on the integration of education for sustainable development for the pre-service life science teacher training programs. This multiple case study investigated the extent of integrating environmental education and education for sustainable development into life sciences teacher education at the selected university. Using Carl Mayton's legitimation code theory as lens for this study, findings show that while environmental themes are evident in both the BEd and PGCE programs, their integration is inconsistent, fragmented, and often lack contextual depth and contextual relevance. Advocacy for coherent, interdisciplinary, context-responsive approaches is needed to equip life sciences pre-service teachers to enact education for sustainable development in addressing sustainability issues. This study contributes to the academic understanding of how environmental education and education for sustainable development are integrated into life science teacher education in South Africa. Its theoretical, empirical, practical contributions offer a foundation for curriculum reform, policy development, and further scholarly inquiry into sustainability education for pre-service teacher preparation.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Quinton Charles Terhoeven. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Victoria Namena Werner will now be introduced to you by Dr. Moira Platikun.
The thesis title, Academic Resilience in Biology Amongst Orphans and Vulnerable Children at Secondary Schools in the Otjozondjupa Education Region, Namibia, a phenomenology study. This doctoral study investigates how orphans and vulnerable children in Namibia maintain strong academic performance despite adversity. Guided by Bronf and Bremer's bioecological model and the resilience theory, the research explores the personal, relational, and contextual factors that enable resilience in biology learners. The study developed the Resilience Education Support Model, a new framework explaining how support systems, motivation, and access to resources interact to sustain academic resilience, offering practical and theoretical contributions to education.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Victoria Namena Werner.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Robin Abrams will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Dr. Philomene Nsengiumva.
The thesis title is The Demographic Aspects of Women with Disability in Access to Health Care Facilities in South Africa, a comparative study between 2013 and 2018. Robin's thesis, this PhD thesis explored the demographic and socio-economic aspects influencing the mode of transportation it utilized when seeking medical treatment among women with disability in South Africa. The 2013 and the 2018 General Household Survey datasets were used, and the study employed multinomial logistic regression to identify the factors influenced means of transport to healthcare facilities among women with disability. The study found that disparities in healthcare access and utilization among women with disability remained prevalent between 2013 and 2018. The study found that despite the type of disability, women with disability who were unmarried, low income, less educated or not educated, who rely on social grants, were more likely to walk more than 30 minutes to public health care facilities, and they had poor access to health care facilities due to poor transportation.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Robin Abrams. Deputy Vice Chancellor, The candidate Maxwell Amponsa da Costa will now be introduced to you by his co-supervisor, Professor Salam Titinchi.
The thesis titled Fault Salt Analysis for Carbon Dioxide Storage within Offshore Pitmoss Basin in South Africa. Mr. Maxwell's doctoral study investigated the intricate fault system within the Pitmoss Basin to determine whether these fault functions are barriers or conduits for carbon dioxide storage. Analysis of fault sealing capacity revealed that the examined fault demonstrates strong sealing capabilities with shell gauge ratio measurement, surpassing the critical threshold required for effective fault seals. These combined results underscore the structural and compositional stability of the studied zone within the Pitmoss Basin for CO2 sequestration. This research advanced our knowledge of fault sealing process and reservoir characterization in offshore geological formation, contributing to South Africa carbon emission reduction initiative through geological storage solution. The research outcomes have been published in peer-reviewed academic journals.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Maxwell Amponsa da Costa. Thank you, sister. Deputy Vice Chancellor. The candidate, Sisetu Fikileni, will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Thokozani Kanyerere.
The title of the thesis is Application of Options Analysis Model to assess the impact of climate variability of groundwater levels for improved groundwater management, Cape Flood Aquifers, South Africa. The candidate designed a standardized simulation framework for modeling groundwater levels in a geo-aquifer systems and applied options analysis techniques to assess impact of extreme weather events on groundwater level fluctuations. Cape Flood Aquifer System in South Africa was used as a case study because of its duality nature. Aquifer delineation tools showed that 80% and 20% of boreholes were drilled in unconfined and confined aquifers respectively, suggesting that modeling such systems need both aquifers to give reliable and valid interpretation of results. Menkendo, Pearson's correlation and regression analysis showed that fluctuations, trend, and magnitude of change in groundwater levels were within expected ranges on 2007-2024 datasets. The study generated empirical evidence to recommend using a simulation framework for modeling groundwater levels in a geo-aquifer systems. 3 manuscripts have been submitted for publications in DHT-accredited journals. Congratulations, Sisetu.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Sisetu Fikileni. Do you prefer Jamie Lee or Jamie? Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Jamie January will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Emmanuel Iwua.
The thesis of Ms. Jamie January is titled Electrochemiluminescence Nanobiosensor, Nanobody-Based Immunosensor for SARS-CoV-19 Specific Antigens. Persistent viral reservoirs of SARS-CoV-2 or long COVID-19 and latent COVID-19 continue to raise concern among scientists and clinicians. Spike protein S1 has been identified as a crucial biomarker for both conditions, and a novel, highly sensitive S1 immunosensor platform was developed by Jamie January in her PhD work. The sensor technology involves an integration of a special type of camelid antibody fragments or nanobodies, perovskite electronics, and biomarker induced by electrochemically generated luminescence. The nanobody immunosensor is suitable for application as screening tool for early and targeted diagnostics and customization for other viral diseases. Ms. January performed aspects of the study at Ghent University in Belgium.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Jamie January. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Kwazikwake Majola will be introduced to you by his co-supervisor, Professor Thokozani Kanyerere.
The title of the thesis is Assessing Impacts of Global Changes on Groundwater-Dependent Ecosystems, Turikaru Transboundary Aquifers in Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. Mr. Majola developed a hydrogeological conceptual model for transboundary aquifers to characterize groundwater-dependent ecosystems and applied hydrogeological model coupling tools to assess the resilience of groundwater-dependent ecosystems to climate change impacts. Locally observed precipitation and temperature and historical data sets were used. Turikaru transboundary aquifers shared among Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe was used as a case study. Outputs were simulated in a mode flow code using ModeMuse and groundwater chart software to determine effect of recharge and groundwater levels for groundwater-dependent ecosystems. Recharge ranged from 6% to 14% of mean annual precipitation. Groundwater storage contributed to 8% to streams, while groundwater base flow was 0.39 cubic meters per second and 0.22 cubic meters per second during wet and dry seasons. The study generated empirical evidence to recommend using transboundary aquifer-based models for groundwater-dependent ecosystems. Results have been disseminated via published papers and conferences. Congratulations, Majola.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Kwazikwake Majola. want all names read or just Moeng? What's it? Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Moeng Motitswe will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Lindiwe Kwatseng.
Moeng's thesis title is Development of Reduced Graphene Oxide Based Nanocomposites for the Removal of the Toxic Metals from Wastewater. Rapid industrialization and urbanization have caused severe water pollution by toxic metals such as chromium, lead, and cadmium, posing serious health and environmental risks. Developing highly efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable adsorbent materials is vital. This study developed zinc oxide, iron oxide, and titanium oxide nanocomposites supported on reduced graphene oxide for efficient removal of these metals from wastewater. The reduced graphene oxide sheets minimize the nanoparticle agglomeration, enhancing active site exposure. The materials achieved around 99% removal efficiency, fitted the SIPS isotherm model, and showed excellent regeneration and reusability. Moeng's work offers a promising solution for toxic metal removal, which resulted in 2 publications in peer-reviewed international journals.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Moeng Motitswe. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the candidate Amkelwa Mpelane will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Salam Titinchi.
The title of the thesis, Synthesis of Functionalized Polymer-Coated Magnetic Nanoparticles for Heavy Metal Removal. Water pollution caused by toxic heavy metals ions have emerged as a critical environmental concern. Adsorption has gained considerable attention due to its simplicity, high efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Mrs. Mkelwa synthesized various generations of sulfur-capped dendrimers and poly-crafted magnetic nanoparticles. These dendrimers show high maximum adsorption capacity for lead and cadmium metal ions. DFT studies revealed that sulfur, nitrogen, and oxygen were responsible for lead removal. The findings of this work highlight the potential of dendrimer functionalized magnetic nanoparticles as effective and recyclable adsorbent for the removal of heavy metals in wastewater. The magnetic core enabled evaporation of the adsorbents after the adsorption process. The prepared adsorbents show great potential for efficient and economical heavy metal ion removal.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Amkelwa Mpelane. read is important, or just Cabello Ramaphosa? Okay, stand on the right. Deputy Vice Chancellor. The candidate, Cabello Ramaphosa, will be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Emmanuel Iwoha. But if you'll permit me an interjection, Deputy Vice Chancellor. Some 20 years ago, Professor Iwoha established what is called the Sensor Lab in our chemistry department. It has grown to be a large group of academics who work together. And at this graduation, you'll have seen Professor Iwoha here before, and we are passing the 100th PhD graduate from that Sensor Lab at this graduation.
The title of Mr. Cabello Edmond Romorola's PhD thesis is Polyanilinum molybdenum, sorry, I just have to clean my nose, yeah, sorry. So the title of Mr. Romorola's thesis is Polyanilinum molybdenum disulfide metal organic framework nanomaterials for electrocatalytic production of green hydrogen. Hydrogen is an energy carrier, and hydrogen energy is directly and efficiently converted to electricity in a fuel cell. Green hydrogen, obtained by greenhouse gas-free water splitting technologies, is a cleaner alternative to hydrogen from fossil fuel, which is associated with greenhouse gas emissions. Mr. Cabello Ramaphosa's thesis presents polyanilinum molybdenum sulfide metal organic framework nanomaterial as a next-generation low-cost electrocatalyst for efficient water splitting through electrochemical hydrogen evolution reaction. The metal organic framework material was shown to be a high-performance electrocatalyst for green hydrogen production and a possible future replacement of the expensive platinum group metals based catalysts that are currently used.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Cabello Ramaphosa. Deputy Vice Chancellor. The candidate, Siyasanga Sambakanya, will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Salam Titinchi.
The title of the thesis is Synthesis of Metal-Doped Titanium Oxide, Fe3O4, Nanocomposite for Degradation of Organic Pollutant. Water pollution is a major environmental concern, especially due to toxic dyes that can cause serious health issues, such as cancer and respiratory problems. Effective wastewater treatment is therefore essential. Therefore, it is essential to effectively treat wastewater to eliminate these dyes before releasing into the environment. Mrs. Siyasanga synthesized polymer-coated titanium oxide magnetic nanoparticles as photocatalyst for dye degradation. Their efficiency of these photocatalysts was tested for 4 dyes, achieving over 95% degradation within 30 minutes. The catalyst also shows good regeneration and reuse performance for up to 5 cycles. These results demonstrate that the photocatalysts are promising for dye wastewater treatment, as they use inexpensive and abundant material requiring minimal modification.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Siyasanga Sambakanya. Deputy Vice Chancellor, it's my privilege to introduce to you the candidate Sibongiseni Silwana. The thesis title is The Use of Cover Crops for Sustainable Citrus Orchard Performance. Sibongiseni Silwana investigated the practice of cover crops planted between tree rows in citrus orchards to improve production and conservation of natural resources. He found that oats and legume cover crops, such as vetch and medics, are beneficial to improve soil organic carbon, fertility, and microbiological activity, to conserve soil water, suppress weeds, and reduce the use of agrochemicals. The findings are readily transferable to improve agricultural production and resource conservation in both commercial and smallholder farms. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Sibongiseni Silwana.
Thank you for those. DVC, I request you to confer the degree Master of Dental Surgery on the following candidates. Colleagues, these are our latest, newest dental specialists in dentistry. Toboko Abram Mvundla for orthodontics. Nasipo Mzube for prosthodontics. TVC, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Dentistry on the following candidates. Nabila Abdurrahman. From the Department of Oral Hygiene, we have Tasneem Ajam. Is the next one, huh? Is the next one? Same one. Okay, okay. We have Dr. Karesha Varanya Naidu, who will be invested by her mother, Dr. Megendri Naidu. Okay. And from the Pediatric Dentistry Society of South Africa, we have Maria Elizabeth Weekly. Okay. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed. Oh, okay. TBC, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Dental Surgery on the following candidates, and these are South Africa's latest dentists, the newest dentists. We have Shay Austin, magna cum laude. Ubez Zubir Adam, cum laude. Daniel Lawrence de Swat, cum laude. Rachel Vermaak, cum laude. Mubashira Adam Malve. Amara Ahmed. Kino Jelen Besson. Sabina Bata. Stand here, yeah. Peter Latigan Bosch. Stand there on the one. Nandipa. Tasneem Brenner. Brittany Joy Brickles. Okay. Linda Kishler Blessing Taylor. Next we have Reagan Kluter. Bibi Aisha Dalvi. JC Lee Daniels. Next we have Abdul Aziz Dini. Lauren Dixon. Tasha Duran. Come stand here. Amara Ibrahim. Olitemba Faku. K. Jean Keith Geduld. Marichen Goedals. Brooklyn Amber Goliath. Gillespie Mohammed Tariq Anwari. Muhammad Rida Harris. Dominic Michaelin Hennessy. Nakib Hussein. Michaela Isabel. Samkelo Eliva Jonas. Next we have Melanie Euster. Tarawa Joseph. Mapifo Kabini. Farine Kaska. Azra Kasim. Amira Khan. Miriam Azra Khan. Bianca Castain. Sasha Creek. And next we have the class rep of the BDS 5 2025, Adnan Lara. Jeremy Shiyu Lim. And next we have Charles Francois Lochner, who will be invested by his dad, who's on the faculty staff, Dr. Johan Lochner. Let's wait for it. Azima Mahaldar. Alma Nathan Manuel. Salmina Mapanya. Milani Mapukata. Tahira Matthews. Tapelo Matsani. Yamakela Mazomba. Pushle Madamani. And here we have a long name. Ontatila Rebatsa Anda Mdarbe. Sanda Mlambo. Rihana Mohammed. Mulweli Mpepu. Somile Mtobile. Mackenzie Mullins. Rafael Jamil Nift. Nanjabula Nkobo. Nzanitso Nkanyani. Stand there, yeah. Mohammed Yasin Parker. Omi Salma Peer. Carla Pretorius. Jean Pretorius. Emma Jean Ritter. Mohammed Tahir Royker. Atufa Samuels. Muhammad Amza Sheikh. Atandiwe Snyman. Juve Yenika van Sale. Leah Walpole. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Oral Health on the following candidates. And colleagues, these are our latest, newest oral hygienists for the country. We have Ife Christine Anazondo, cum laude. Raisa Hammond, cum laude. Salma Noureddin, cum laude. Abida Saban, cum laude. Jesse Cederberg, cum laude. Naima Amle. How you say this? Iman Barnes. Mushfika Beaton. Savannah Borman. Raveningo Chauke. Amina Banu Yunus Chitra. Izan Dutoy. Azani Happy Chivunli. Fatima Faker. Kaylee Harilal. Storm and Antonio Hendricks. Kushle Kondelati. Kushle. Kushle Mjali. Jacqueline Modley. Emishle Tina Ndambambi. Okay. Senketlo Senkosi Komalo. Khakiso Innocent Piri. Ruth Maseko Ramasodi. Thank you. Nicole Reiters. Farida Sandon. Yeah. Shalene Skuman. Shannon Sias. Dominic Van Sitter. And the last one from oral hygiene is Nicolene Foster. Oh, sorry, it's Nicole Foster. Okay. Thank you.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Education on the following candidates. Joshua Ampo. Vuyasika Primrose Baliso.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
The camera. Bishop Chirampyanga. Face the camera. Wonderful Denga. Marceline Felix. Andiswa Mlakazi. Magdalene Veronica Ann Peterson. Eric Mslami David Saylor. Supershishle Candice Soko. Bridget Tobin, magna cum laude. Atandile Makate. Your mother.
That's my mother, Dr. Janine Hannibal.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Education in Adult Education and Global Change on the following candidate, Janeka Parenza, and she'll be invested by Dr. Janine Hannibal, a mother.
Am I supposed to say this?
This one wasn't called out cum laude, so we thought maybe we just wanted to talk about it.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the postgraduate certificate in Education and Further Education and Training, teaching on the following candidates: Ilham Jacobs, cum laude. Shrees Ebenezer Adams. Timya Thelma Adonis. Suhema Ali. Farzana Amu. Avuzwa Ayabukwa Badiana. Sam Keliswe Bavuma. Gatroline Prudentia Bukes. Kulani Bala. Tristan Ivan Bert. Zita Bays. Isandro Attilo Klassen. Lisa Joy Cupido. Kaylin Daniel. Nikita Megan Daniel. Nikita Kiona Davids. Tanya Marian de Klerk. Megan DeWitt. Spiwe Fevrata Dubé. Colin Fick. Nicholas Derek Fram. Liam Matthew Franca. Kishel Fransman.
Bushra Hamza.
Bushra Kamsa. Nika Goliath. Anati Gosa.
That's Leah.
Leah Marie Harris. Kurtley Ashley. Rania Hendricks. Shante Henson. Hanim Holiday. Nicole Michaela Holzhausen. Lazan Jafta. Vogan January. Jamie Rowling Juris. Michaela J. Juris. Michelle Avron Kamladin. Skala Lynn Kalamadin. Sia Shluma Kala. Riaz Kipi. Where is it? I'll be invested by Mrs. Priscilla Kippy, the mother. Femka Michaela Kunte. Lucasta Creel. Tyler Cruiser will be invested by Ms. Leanna Thomas, the mother. Tanika Latikan. Danica Emily Lawrence. Luke Iron Lawrence will be invested by Dr. Donovan Lawrence, the father. Kamagelo Lesalo. Janet Aquila Piroli Lawrence. Nonslana Mabojana. Neliswe Marikani. No. Atapila Madolo. Matapelo Mashlaba, Lindsay Ki Majid, Ashley Malan, face the camera, sorry. Face the camera. Sunovu Mankindi, Carolyn Crystal Marang, Janita Tamara Marks Bayman, Nuloma Masinga, Miashlali Maziza, Vaniswa Faith Maswangani, face the camera. Michaelin Matthews, Iletu Umbolekwa, Candice Robin Mayer, look at the camera. Kiboni Mishlobola, Kali Miller, Lukona Mkarakhra, Unam Mslata, Kaylin Lynette Mowers, Isona Msolo, Samantha Mvimbi, Annalisa Ngeka, Timna Samantha Ngesi, sorry, Viaseka Njalo, Natasha Injeza, Andiswa Ningiza. Ukushlu Nonzaba. Leandro Nonso. Azesa Natiyesi. Nomofelo Nkabani. Leli Chebakazi Insulumana. Sanoria Tembela Inyebetu. Marx Gershwin Olafir. Victoria Oesterwijk. Taryn Pakari. Dylan Martin Paulse. Rushka Joy Pedro. Taryn Jolin Pedro. Happiness Siposeto Pamba. Jaren Kirtley Pinar. Nicole Kali Pinar. Faiza Polak. Omega Poswa. Lucanio Kokola. Ibrahim Reynolds. Cliche Richards. Amina Ringquist. Jade Ross. Nuha Samsudin. Kyra Shamaine Sauls. Nabila Sedik. Luhanda Gugu Shanga. Musa Sibuzo. Robin Kirsten Siljir. Shannon Rai Sieves. Chloe Leanne Smith. Ashton Smith. Laurentia Letitia Solomons. Look at the camera. Wiona Jane Spotter. Look at the camera. Sorry. Imelda Stollenkamp. Cleo Swart. Mbashlanle Ntumeleng Tabeta. Angela Adelaide Tibus. Jason Lee Thomas. Look at the camera. Karanelelo Tulo. Elmari Kulisha van der Westhuizen. Abigail van Rooyen. Kali Michelin van Week. Go. Shante Shivon van Week. Anke Courtney Vasaki. Siobhan Kaylee Vasaki. Wedem Vuyakazi. Alulu Wakaba. Crystal Williams. Renee Catherine Williams. Yusra Williams.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Chemical Science on the following candidates: Lechlonoholo Tsepang Motsiolo, magna cum laude. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Computer Science on the following candidates: Bright Mahembe, who will be invested by his father, Professor Bright Mahembe. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Environment and Water Science on the following candidates: Ndumise Siposezwe Masiklela. Uviwe Ndamane. Sinati Yolanda Mumkana. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Medical Bioscience on the following candidates: Ayesha Boomgard. Abigail Daniels. Kaylin Anastasia Fritz. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Nanoscience on the following candidates: Jacques van der Walt. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Petroleum Geology on the following candidate: Dion Sneyman, cum laude. Deputy Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Master of Science in Pharmacy Administration and Policy Regulation on the following candidate: Courtney Popkis.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now it's time for the pledge, and the registrar will lead that session.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is only for the students who are graduating with a Bachelor of Dental Surgery and Bachelor of Oral Health. Will those graduates please stand up? Thank you. Graduates, you will repeat after me. The oath can be found in your program on page 43. There may be one or two slight amendments. I've taken the liberty of doing that, Dean. I hope you don't mind. We don't say fellow men anymore. You will repeat after me, okay? On receiving my degree in dental surgery or degree in oral health, whichever is applicable to you. So repeat after me. On receiving my degree in I hereby solemnly promise to benefit my patients to the best of my ability and my knowledge, and never to do anything which may be deleterious to them, never to divulge whatever I may see or hear, in the exercise of my profession which ought not to be made known, and in so doing to protect the esteem and image of my profession as I would my life. To revere my mentors at all times. Should I keep this promise faithfully, may I then at all times, in the practice of my profession and in the course of my life, be worthy of the respect of all people. You may be seated.
All the good things must come to an end. But we would want to end it by UWC way. Please rise. This side. Sorry, the students. I'm so sorry. My apologies. As you give thanks, I request you that you lift your certificate, find your significant others in the audience, your mother, your father, your friend, your cousin, your sister, and cheerfully give thanks to them. And I request you to do the same to your professors, your lecturers behind me. The song.
Umama DJ
Aibo, 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 Aibo. Thank you. Siyabonga. Siyabulela. Badanki. Hier die vergadering van de Universiteit van West-Kaapland is nou vandaag. Le nhlangano ye-University yaseNtshona Kapa ifikelele esiphelweni. This meeting of the University of the Western Cape is now dissolved. You may sit.
And they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Guess I see the things that they wish. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't. Yeah. I feel good, sometimes I don't. Hey. I finesse down Western Road. Hey. Yes. Might go down to G.O.D. Yeah. Wait. I go hard on Southside G. Yeah. Wait. I make sure that Northside eat. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah. Hey, hey. Partly, I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me. 81, they'll bring the crashers to the party. And you know me. Turn the 02 into the 03, dawg. Without 40 Ollie, there be no me. Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan, God's plan. I can't do this on my own, hey, no, hey. Someone watching it close, yup, close. I've been me since Scarlet Road, hey, Might go down as G.O.D., yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G, hey, wait. I make sure that Northside eat, yeah. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing. They wishing on me. Yeah. Yeah. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah.